Hey there, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here. Welcome to day 1868 of What You Up To Now, documenting the journey as I transitioned. Originally in 2017, I left the offline world. In 2016, I sold my Italian food manufacturing business, and as part of my divorce, had to divest myself of all the different assets and businesses I had with my ex-husband. So I was in a unique position to decide, well, what the heck do I want to do now? I can retire and travel around, which I think back now and I'm like, it was before I lost my vision, so I'm wishing I had done that. But since I didn't, and since I didn't know that my vision was going to tank so quickly in my good eye, I made different choices than I would have if I were looking back now and making that choice again. But I decided I was going to explore and figure out the online world. I'd never really had time or energy to look into the internet, but I'd always been curious about it. So I popped online and started doing different things. Some things served me really, really well. Other things were complete and utter flops and failures. I think I definitely failed at a ton of things in the beginning until I started to get my groove and figure out what felt right and was right for me versus, you know, what everybody teaches you. Same thing in the offline world, right? We have to figure out what is right for us. And that's sometimes a trial and error thing, often a trial and error thing, right? I don't know. I know some people that are still working in and operating in the original industry and business that they went to college or to school for or got an education in, but a lot of people aren't any longer. I've been involved in literally dozens and dozens of different businesses, both on and offline now. No, hundreds online now, but offline, like I was involved in at least 27 different businesses and industries before I even decided that I was going to check out the online world. So it's been an interesting journey and an interesting ride. So today and every day for a few years now, I've created a couple of pieces of content. I've been doing an annual challenge. I've been doing annual challenges for literally decades. I would challenge myself to do an annual challenge where I wanted to improve something about my life by doing something every day. And since 2018, I started to do an online annual challenge. The first one was the do one thing every day that scares you. And then last year was BU 365 day challenge to do one thing every day that continuously improves us, helps us become a better version of ourselves. And this year's, thank you Chad Hanna for suggesting it, is the Get Your Goals annual challenge, where we're doing one thing every day to get what we want, to get what you want, to get what I want. And each month from February through, let's say probably October, we are going to do, it might be September, we're going to do an area of the life framework that I use to kind of structure my life and add some objectivity to the chaos that generally has been my life and will continue to be. At least that's what I expect. And why do I expect it? Because that's what it's been, and I actually like it. I like the crazy chaos. I like the crazy excitement that comes along with not knowing really exactly what's going to happen next. So today, our content for the Get Your Goals annual challenge, we're focusing on mental well-being. And we're talking about my lovely artistic graphic ability, the subconscious today, and how it manages pretty much everything for us on autopilot. 90% of everything in our life actually gets handled automatically by our subconscious. If we had to make all those decisions, all those choices, run all those processes intentionally, we'd go insane, because so much has to be done just for our bodies to function and us to breathe and eat and go to the bathroom and do the everyday functioning things. If we had to consciously be aware of those, we'd be overloaded and we wouldn't have time to do anything else. So thank you, subconscious, for taking good care of us. And our action item today is just to think about our subconscious and notice some of the amazing things that it does for us every single day. And then also think about how are we going to make sure that it is our best friend and it's on the same page we are when it comes to creating what it is that we want in life. And we do that, and we've been doing that for a few years now through something called the SOAP framework. We're going to cover that next week. And then we're going to spend a week setting our goals for our mental well-being and our mental health this month as well. So our idiom to kind of go along with that for our Supersize Your Business group is asleep at the wheel. And I shared a story about how I fell asleep when I was driving my car one time between my home and Green Bay when I was dating my husband. I drove home a lot on the weekends to spend with him. And one of those Sunday nights late, I was driving back to Green Bay for work on Monday, and I literally dozed off behind the wheel of my RX-7, poor RX-7. But luckily, I just tapped the car next to me and that woke me up, and neither one of us had any damage because it had been snowing, which makes it even worse that I fell asleep behind the wheel, right? So we talked about asleep at the wheel and what that means, and how we probably don't want to do that if we're growing and building and supersizing our own business, right? There's times in our life when we just go through the motions of our life, and we are, I think that's kind of a way of being asleep at the wheel of our life. I know I spent, a couple decades thinking I was doing the right things, but really I was asleep at the wheel because I was doing the right things for other people, but not necessarily the right things for myself. Absolutely not the right things for myself. And we do that. We go through stages and phases of that, unless you're super duper smarter than me, which a lot of people are. So that's it. That's all I've got today. I've got babies that are waking up. I'm helping my daughter with her little my grandbabies and her beautiful daughters. If I can help you in any way, ask. Traveling this month, not sure when now because just got a call and the plans have changed slightly, but it's always fun to be on the road, and I still do my content, so I will still be seeing you. If I can help you in any way, ask. Otherwise, have a fantastic start to a new week, and I'll be with you tomorrow.